Alright guys, good afternoon. These are going to be your notes for 11-3, solving linear systems by adding or subtracting. Okay, so there are some steps that we need to take to do this. It's also called the elimination method. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is add or subtract the equations, which will eliminate one of our variables. We're going to solve the resulting equation for the other variable, substitute the value back into the other one, and then solve, and if you want, you can check your answer. Okay, so let's do some examples. First one, the system is negative 2x minus y equals negative 5. And 3x plus y equals negative 1. So you can see I have a negative y and a positive y. So I can add these two equations together, and that's going to cancel my y value. So I have negative 2x plus 3x is x. The y's cancel out. And negative 5 plus negative 1 is negative 6. So our x value is negative 6. And then we're going to plug it in. I'm going to use the second equation. So we have 3 times negative 6 plus y equals negative 1. So I have negative 18 plus y equals negative 1. So add 18 and y equals 17. So my solution is the ordered pair negative 6, 17. For example 2, if I add these together, my 2y and negative 2y can cancel. So 3x plus 3x is 6x. The y values cancel, and 10 plus 14 is 24. So in this example, I still need to divide by 6, and x equals 4. I'm going to substitute my 4 in, and this time I'm going to use the first equation. So I have 3 times 4 plus 2y equals 10. So I have 12 plus 2y equals 10. Subtract 12. So 2y equals negative 2. Divide by 2. And y equals negative 1. So my answer is the ordered pair for negative 1. On number 3, if I add these two together, I'd end up with 3x and 2y. So adding isn't going to work, so I'm going to subtract these two equations. So x minus 2x is negative x. Y minus y cancels out, and 12 minus 6 is 6. Divide by negative 1, and x equals negative 6. I'm going to fill the negative 6 into the first equation. So I have negative 6 plus y equals 12. So add 6 to both sides, and y equals 18. So my answer is the ordered pair negative 6, 18. Okay. Number 4, if I add them, the 2x's will cancel out, so we add. So 2x plus negative 2x cancels. Y plus negative 3y is negative 2y. And 1 plus 5 is 6. So I'm going to divide by negative 2. And y equals negative 3. I'm going to fill that into the first equation. So you have 2x minus 3 equals 1. So I'm going to add 3. So 2x equals 4. And then I'm going to divide by 2. And x equals 2. So my answer is the ordered pair 2, negative 3. As far as deciding which equation I'm going to plug the first answer back into, I just choose the one that I feel looks the simplest, because why do more work than you need to? Okay, I have 3 more examples for you. This example can be found on page 408. It's your turn, number 7. Okay, and the system is 4x minus y equals 3, and 4x minus y equals negative 2. Okay. If I were to add these, I would have 8x and negative 2y, so I need to subtract the 2 equations. Okay, 4x minus 4x cancels. Y minus negative y cancels, so I have 0. And 3 minus negative 2 is 5. And we know that is not a true statement. When you end up with that, your answer is no solution. Be careful when you're subtracting that you're paying attention to any of the double negatives that you might run across. Okay, that'll make a difference. The second example today is on page 408 also. It's your turn, number 8. And the system is x minus 6y equals 7, and negative x plus 6y equals negative 7. Alright, so let's check if I add them. X and negative x is 0, so I'm going to go ahead and add. So x and negative x cancel. Negative 6y plus 6y cancels, so I'm left with 0. And 7 plus negative 7 is 0. So when you end up with a true statement, the answer is infinitely many solutions. Alright, and I have one final example for you today. It's on page 409. It's your turn, number 9. Okay, this one is a story problem. It says the perimeter of a rectangular picture frame is 62 inches. The difference of the length of the frame and twice its width is 1. The system of equations 2L plus 2W, 2L plus 2W equals 62, and L minus 2W equals 1 represents this situation where L represents the length in inches and W represents the width in inches. What are the length and the width of the frame? So we need to solve the system. 2L plus L would be 3L, but I have 2W and negative 2W, so I can add those and get rid of the W's. So 2L plus L is 3L. 2W and negative 2W cancel. 62 plus 1 is 63. So I need to divide by 3. And L is 21 inches. Don't forget when you have word problems that they require a label. I'm going to go ahead and fill this into the second equation because that's a little more simple. So I have 21 minus 2W equals 1. So I'm going to subtract 21. So I have negative 2W equals negative 20. And divide both sides by negative 2. So W equals 10 inches. When you're doing word problems or real world problems, make sure that your answers make sense. In saying that, it's because, you know, if we had maybe forgotten to divide by negative 2, the answer would have been negative 10. which makes, you can't have negative 10 inches. Okay, so wouldn't make sense. And that would indicate that you had made some sort of mistake. Sorry about that. There's all my work. If you need to copy the work, I guess give the video a pause. Your homework with this lesson is 11.3, page 410 to 412, numbers 1 through 17 odd, and then we're also going to do number 22 and 24. Okay. Thank you, and hope y'all have a great weekend.